Greetings, fellow travelers. Welcome on in. This is the 163rd level of the RPG Cave. I am one of your hosts, the level 199 human Dark Lord Ryan Turford, and I am joined for the first time in a fortnight by the level 199 Elf Battle Alchemist, Dr. Garret. How's it going, Garret?
I'm doing good, man. How about you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm tired.
You're tired?
I had a long night last night. I couldn't fall asleep. I was so entranced, Garret, because I went back and I rewatched our Game of the Year show from last year. Our 4.5 hour Game of the Year show.
The CPG General one.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
but
cool.
I was like, hey, I wanted to go back and watch it again because for those that have been keeping up with current events, by the way, we have posted the sign-up sheet for our Game of the Year special. If you have submissions for your favorite games of the year, the link is in the Discord. Make sure to check that out, of course, and let us know what your favorite games are. But to prepare for that, Garret, I wanted to prepare my mindset for our upcoming Game of the Year special. And I wanted to watch last year's, which caused me to basically just stay up all night playing Diablo 4. Well,
of course,
while watching our special and getting into the mood to talk about our favorite games. So, needless to say, my body woke up at 10 this morning and it just could not fall asleep again. So I'm not on a lot of sleep. But we're doing
Diablo 4 is definitely one of those games where it's just endless. You know, like you could just go in it and just press some buttons, and then you're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna listen to this 4.5 hour podcast of games of the year of last year. I bet it was a good time. That sounds therapeutic, actually.
It was. In fact, it was actually cool just getting to listen to that episode again, because like Amanda was brand new to the team.
Oh yeah.
We had Kato come in. We had the Lockless auditory categories. Man,
I love it.
It was a good episode to listen to. Of course, Garret, I have to highlight Sean Capri's comment here. Sorry, ladies, he's married, because guess what happened, Garret?
Actually, I don't remember.
You got married again. It happened.
I did it for the third time. Same person. So don't worry about that. But basically, we decided to do our wedding celebration in the U.S. And let me tell you, Ryan, you know, the first time it was a court wedding. It was pretty nice because we just had to like meet together, have some very close friends and family come together and, you know, do this shindig. That was a few years ago. Last year, we did a wedding in China, and we did not have to prepare for it at all. You know, it was just let the China, you know, her parents worry about it, her family, like, you know, plan it out, and then we just kind of, you know, go into it. And it was really nice. It was really awesome, really cool. And then, but this year, we prepared it ourselves. We're like, we're gonna choose the caterer, we're gonna choose the guest list, we're gonna choose like how we're gonna celebrate and go through everything. So yeah, it was like, you know, down to the wire, like till the last day or the day before, even in the morning. Pretty, you know, you're just thinking about all the things that you want to get right, and you want to make sure everything's going through. But it really turned out probably the best way possible. So we had a very smooth ride. You know, all of our friends and family came over, celebrated with us. We had a very nice venue out in the Berkeley Hills over here in California. Very nice weather. It was actually very interesting. The day before, raining, pouring, actually, like everywhere in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. We were slightly scared. It's like, oh my gosh, because our ceremony was like outside, and then we had the rest of the stuff inside. We were like, oh, are we gonna have to go with plan B and be all inside? But no, thankfully the next day it was just partly cloudy, no rain that day, and it was just such a wonderful celebration for us being together, and then all of our friends and family being over. It was really good. But we can safely say we're done. We're kind of done.
You're not going for number 4 anytime soon?
No. We were joking that we were going to do vow renewals next year.
Oh, jeez.
just keep it rolling. But
now hold the phone. When is the carpool wedding? When the only people invited are the members of carpool?
Yeah.
When does that
do the international visit, you know, because we got to bring, you know, Fulia into the fold here. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's technically international for me to go there, Garrett.
Who's going to raise the funds for that? That's the issue. So probably not.
It's fun. I know. That would be fun. But dude, I'm so happy for you. It sounds like you all had an amazing wedding, and it sounds like it was a good thing you did it. So I'm glad that it all worked out.
I'm very glad we're very glad we did it, and we did it with all our friends and family over here. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a long journey though, for sure this year.
For sure. I can't help but laugh at Seth's comment. When is the HD remaster of the wedding coming?
The HD remaster. We're gonna give it to you in HD 2D.
Oh, and then you get the 4K version down the road.
The 4K version, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the ray traced version. Mm-hmm. The ray traced version of the wedding.
The ray traced, yeah. I love it.
DLSS version of it. Oh man, dude, there's so many silly jokes. But of course. This is the RPG Cave, where we talk about RPGs all the time, except for when we talk about weddings and the lack of sleep and other things. So before we get to the raid boss, we, of course, have to clear the dungeon of those pesky mobs by, of course, letting you all know you can support the show a number of different ways if you like what you see. If you're watching right now on youtube.com/carpoolgaming or twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live, you have an important job to do. Make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button, depending on what platform you're on, or just hitting that like button on YouTube, or let us know in the comments below what you think about Black Friday deals. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you're listening on audio feeds, feel free to hit that subscribe button, or leave us a comment if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or leaving a rating. By the way, Spotify listeners, I see you. I see every single one of you. In fact, Garrett, for the very first time ever in the history of the RPG Cave, this week, we appeared on the front page of Spotify.
We did?
And we got a bunch of new listeners on Spotify.
Wow, that's very nice to hear. I didn't know. I mean, like, okay, so we mean front page of Spotify. Like, you go to
when
podcasts?
You search role-playing games, we were on the front page for the first time.
Wow.
Yes, that has never happened before. It's happened for other shows. But it's never happened for us, because RPG podcasts, believe it or not, is like such a hard field to crack, believe it or not. It's weird to think about. But I just wanted to throw it out there. Like, we've been getting a lot of new people on Spotify. So I wanted to say huge shout out to everyone who's been supporting us on that platform, as well as all the other platforms as well. It means a lot to us that y'all are checking out the podcast. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. In fact, a lot of people who've been coming in the Discord have been telling us they've been coming in from Spotify. So all this tracks.
So cool.
Which is really cool. Also, if you want early access to this, as well as all of our other podcasts, or one big podcast feed, the entire Carpool Gaming cinematic universe on it, or some exclusive content, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We got some brand new content over on the Patreon. Of course, we got Amanda's podcast is out right now. You can go listen to it. As of today, Fuya's episode of the Pants podcast is coming out this week, but her questions are up, so make sure to go submit questions over there on the old Patreon. Also, the Real podcast with Nagachaka and Sean is out as well, so make sure to check that out as well. Last but not least, we have our website, carpoolgaming.com, where you can get all kinds of exclusive merch, including Garrett, everyone's favorite shirt, the movement that started last holiday, that was in full swing during our Game of the Year episode, by the way. But Xenobabes is back, Garrett.
Xenobabes is back. Wow.
We brought Xenobabes back from the vault one last time. Of course, you can go over to carpoolgaming.com. Get yourself a Xenobabe t-shirt.
Please.
They will last until the end of the month, and then they'll be gone forever, because it's the Disney Vault, Garrett. Once they go back into the Disney Vault, that's it.
It's just down to the bibs. Oh, yes. I like that. Okay, I like that. It's Xenobabe.
Yes, exactly. Go get your Xenobabe t-shirts. And please be excited. Also, if you're watching on the YouTube or Twitch, Sean Capri points out, Sean has actually started a watch party for our show in the Discord.
Nice. Go for it.
Yeah. Good God. Everyone loves the Disney Vault. The Disney Vault's great. Please go check it out. So there you go. Garrett, yes. I know you just came back from vacation, so I don't know if you have 3 things for me. Do you, in fact, have 3 things that you'd like to talk about?
No, I didn't make up 3 things. I'm sorry. I failed you, Ryan.
It's okay.
I failed you.
I appreciate you nonetheless, Garrett. I appreciate you nonetheless.
I do want to mention that I'm still playing Metaphor, Refantasio, or whatever.
Refantastico?
Okay, what is going on with that?
Fuya started saying it, and now everyone's saying it.
Is it? Did she say Refantastico or Refantastico?
Tastico, like it's fantastic.
Like a fancy. Because hold on. I'm seeing these Discord messages here. Hold on. I'm looking at the RPG Cave channel here.
Literally, Fulia just posted here in the chat. Yes, metaphor Refantastico.
Refantastico. Okay, I saw. Oh, okay. It's Fantastico. I don't know why I saw Refantastico.
Someone might have put that, but Fulia has always said that it's fantastic.
I like that. I like that a lot more. So yeah, I approve. But yeah, I'm still playing that game. I'm about 44 hours in. So
nice.
I'm still in August. I'm like kind of was it like procrastinating on the mission? I just don't want to do the mission. Okay. I don't know why. I was just like, I'm in it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I'm going to do like 7 other dungeons.
You're going to do literally anything else but that mission.
Yeah. Because every day someone else is like, hey, do you want to talk to me? I'm like, yeah, of course I want to talk to you and just read about your life and your character development and everything. Oh my gosh, this game's so much like Persona.
It 100% like is. Yeah.
It's like, this is the Persona template in a fantasy style, I don't know, themed way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been good. It's going good. I think I'm not like saying this is my favorite Atlas game of all time for sure.
Yeah.
I think I just like the Persona games just because of the theme, just the flashiness and the design.
Yeah, like the style is very different. Like you're gonna like probably fall into one of two camps. You're either gonna really like kind of the present day kind of like flashy style, or you're gonna like the medieval kind of fantasy stuff. Like,
I also think the pacing of it is it goes really fast and it goes really slow.
Yeah,
sometimes it's just not very too well paced, and I think that's just because the way the game is and what Persona games are really in general, because you know how it goes. It's like you kind of hit a wave, you hit a dungeon, you have a timeline for it, so you're kind of slow in the middle, in between of it, and then you get hit to a climax or hit to the next part, and it goes really fast. He's like, okay, here's your turning point, here's your story, here, blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm just kind of I'm going through it. I'm enjoying it. I would like to do a discussion on it for sure. A spoiler cast.
Yeah, we should.
Once I'm done.
When you're finished. I'd love to. I know some people in the community are also playing that game too, so maybe we can group some people in with us. But
that'd be really cool.
We'll talk about Metaphor later, Garrett. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear you talk about that game. But enough about Metaphor, Garrett. It is now time to read from the sacred text. Oh, because it is an annual tradition, Garrett. We've been doing this now for about 3 years. Like basically every year we've been doing this show.
We've been doing this for 3 years. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. Because 2021
flies.
is when we started the RPG Cave.
That's true.
And every year that we've done the RPG Cave in the fall of that year, we always do a Black Friday deals episode.
Yeah.
And sometimes the timing doesn't work out because sometimes one of us is on vacation or something like that. I remember last year in particular. I can't remember who was off, but we couldn't do the episode. We had to do the episode after all the Black Friday sales had ended.
Oh,
but we still did it anyways because we wanted to talk about sales, and because ultimately there are sales that are going to happen later in the year too, and a lot of the same games go on sale on Black Friday and also the rest of the year. So we're going to go ahead and do our annual Black Friday / Cyber Monday deals episode / just winter. We referred to it as Winter 2024 RPG deals because, Garrett, I don't know if you saw on PlayStation Network today as an example. The Black Friday sale ended on PlayStation, and then they immediately started the PlayStation 30th anniversary sale.
Of course
which
they
is
did.
All the games from the Black Friday sale all over again on but this time under that branding instead. Until the end of the month. So
and you know what Steam's gonna do? They have their winter sale, like
that's what
end
I mean.
of the month.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna up these sales again. So just might as well just talk about it now.
Yeah. So don't feel bad that we're gonna be like, if you're listening on audio feeds, you're gonna be hearing this after Black Friday. All the games that we're gonna talk about tonight are gonna be still on sale, probably for the rest of the month. So you're gonna have ample time to pick some of these up. So Garrett, I feel like we're gonna do our usual thing because we've done this a couple times now.
Yes, we have.
$100
USD.
Yes, that we had to spend on RPGs only. So I spent some money, you spent some money. So let's go back and forth and talk about this. Garrett, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first and just go through it. But before we start, Ryan, how many games do you have? Because I have 6 games.
I only
on my
did
budget.
4.
You have 4. Okay, cool, awesome. So I think I didn't. So I think last year and probably the years before, my approach was like go cheap. And like go PC, get the older games, so you can get like 9 or 10 games or something like that. Quantity, I wouldn't say over quality because they're probably high quality RPGs still, but just like I guess just aged RPGs in general. I try to be a little bit more current and things that I'm like interested in like getting. It's like, oh, that would be a good sale that I would go for if I had the time to play the game now. So anyways, I'll go first here. And I'm going to start with this one, and you've played this game before, and I'm really interested to play this one. Star Ocean, the Second Story R.
Let's go. Garrett, that was also on my list too.
Okay, awesome. So that's on sale. What I found that, I found it on GameStop. That was the cheapest kind of place to buy it at. On PS5, it is $20 USD.
Right.
So
that's what I found on Amazon.
Cool.
Was $20 USD as well.
Awesome. So yeah, I went for the PS5. The Switch one is only like $5 more. So if you want to go for Switch, you can go for it. But like every time I hear about this game, it's a very good, reimagination of that Star Ocean classic game. I played the demo of it and it was really cool. It's just a nice action RPG. I'm sure it has, I don't know how many hours it has, what, like 20
to 30? It's like a 25-hour game. Like it's definitely on the shorter end because it is a PS1 era role-playing game.
Yeah.
And not a lot of those were super long.
Yeah. And it just came out last year, so it's pretty recent. It looks gorgeous when I was playing it on Steam Deck, so I'm sure it'll look gorgeous on Switch or PS5. So, but that's a very good deal to see it at $20 US. So yeah, that's my first one. Is nice. Star Ocean Second Story R.
Yeah, and it was also, again, one of mine too, because, I kind of constructed the list, because it's one of those things, Garrett, where I have almost all the RPGs I kind of want anyways. There haven't been too many that I haven't purchased. So I wanted to make this list more for, like, RPGs I would recommend other people pick up during Black Friday. So that's kind of the way I tailored my list. So that's why I put Star Ocean on there, because I really loved that game. I played it last year. I thought it was great. So I definitely... wanted to include that there because I think that's a steal for $20. I think
it is too. Yeah.
Game. But yeah. So I will go next with another one, Garrett.
Okay.
This one came out this year. In fact, it only came out 5 months ago.
Wow.
Over the summer. But it's technically a re-release of an older game that came out on Switch a few years ago. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Ah, you're going for
5,
it. Okay.
$24.99 on Amazon.com.
Yep.
Very cheap. It's like 58% off for this game. So
yes.
I couldn't not include it on here. 1, because it literally came out this year. 2, it has a ton of content. 3, I hear the Vengeance version is very, very, very good.
I hear that too.
Yeah, like I think that this is like a slam dunk. This is one where like I looked at it and I was tempted to buy this. But the problem is in Canada, this is literally double the price of this.
Oh, I see.
Because it's not on sale nearly as much as it is in the States. So I'm waiting for a better deal here in Canada before I pick this one up. But I looked at the price because it's actually like really cheap to import this one from the States. Like it's cheaper than buying it from a Canadian retailer. But like I can wait a few more months to pick up this game. But yeah. $24.99. I've been eyeing this game for a while, and I wanted to put it on my list because this is one of in fact, the only one on my list tonight that I haven't actually purchased for myself.
I see. And, you're the perfect target audience for Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance because you did not play the original one. So they're trying to get you for that better version, the complete version. Man, yeah, $24.99. I saw it off and on Amazon. I'm like, that steelbook looks good. The steelbook design looks so like because it's the launch edition. When I was looking at it, even it was only particularly Xbox and I think Switch. Sometimes it was off and on the deals with the launch edition of the game. So I'm trying not to do as much physical editions just because Well, I just don't want to keep things around
Yeah.
inside the place, inside my house. So, it's like might as well just and with these games, not on Switch, but like other consoles like Xbox and PlayStation, you already have to download the game, kind of. But anyways, yeah, I would like to have Vengeance at some point, but I'm gonna wait for like a digital sale.
That
Like
makes sense.
when a digital sale is like $25, like okay, yeah, I'm going for that. But I think I see it for $35.99 or something like that on digital right now. It's like okay, we gotta
Yeah, it's still on sale. Just the sale is not dearly as good as the physical version.
Yeah. But I do have to say, Ryan, I hear the Vengeance story is very, very good too. So I would be very interested to go back into the well again. You've heard my spiel, my reason how much I loathe this game.
You did a whole episode about this.
Yes,
I remember. I was there.
I could dig into it more, but you know what? I'm done.
But it sounds like they fixed all the stuff that you didn't like with this version of the game. Like that's why I'm excited to play it at some point.
Yeah. They said, the original Shin Megami Tensei 5 was a mistake, but hey, just everyone else just played it, and he's like, oh no, we actually released the real story this year. It's just like, oh, okay, 3 years later. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay,
yes.
I'm done.
They had to wait. They had to specifically be like, all right, we got to wait till Garret Bland plays it, and then we'll release the fancy version.
And I played the Switch version, dang it. I actually would love to play the Steam version or the Xbox version.
They probably run way better, which is just crazy to think about. Because, like, that's the thing. Like, I've moved away from buying anything on Switch that isn't exclusive at this point. Because, like, for that reason, like, the performance just is terrible at this point.
Yeah. The only reason I would get a Switch game... Actually, I got Unicorn Overlord on Switch, which I think is a good one because all you really need to do it's a 2D.
Yeah, it plays pretty well on Switch because I tried it. I tried both versions when I was picking up Unicorn Overlord and deciding which one to play. So whereas anyways, like I'm torn because I want to play Metroid Prime 4. I think they're going to do a Switch 2 version of that, but at the same time, the Switch version will probably come out first, and I'm like, I'm going to probably cave.
I'm very interested what they're going to do with that. Yeah. Like how are they going to do some split skew version of Metroid Prime 4 or, like the Twilight Princess GameCube Wii type of deal? I feel like that's going to be a thing.
I think so too. I think it will be because I think it just depends on when Switch 2 comes out. But like, man, I'm like, because that's the thing. I've been recently looking at like what games I want to pick up for next year, and right now it's kind of slim pickings in the first half of the year, except for Metroid Prime 4 because I still
except for the month of February.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, Luckily, of course, chimes in. I'm just waiting for Ryan to play Eow, which of course is Echo of Wisdom, which of course is one of the games that got spun on my wheel for 2025. So I am bound to not play that game until 2025.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna? So that is literally Summoning Bed Simulator. That's what I hear. That's
what I hear too.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Those are 2 of my 4 games: Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance and Star Ocean: The Second Story Arc. So Garrett, hit us with a couple more of yours since you've got 6 of them.
Yeah, so I'll go with 2 games here.
Okay.
The first one, it's out. So I found this on the Steam sale. I'm sure it's on sale with Xbox and PlayStation as well. But I really want to promote this game because it's a super cool one. Chained Echoes.
Yes.
I played this. I played like a lot of it on Game Pass. It has now left Game Pass, so you can't really play it there anymore. But it's made by one dude. It is very heavily inspired by your classic 90s RPGs like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. It is turn-based. It has a very interesting mechanic. Basically, man, I can't even really describe it anymore because it's been so long. But basically, there's an extra mechanic on top of attacking and defending. There's a little bit more to it, a little bit more complexity. So it has a story that's very nice. But yeah, go check out Chained Echoes because it's a very cool game, and the pixel art is amazing. The music is good, and I enjoyed of what I played of it. And so I found it on Steam, $17.49. So nice. You're saving, it's 30% off right now. I say it's totally worth it, So yeah, go check out Chained Echoes.
Good
Any-
answer. Good
Yeah.
answer.
Okay. All right, so that was my indie game. The third game I want to put in here, and it's just because it's so darn cheap on Steam, and you'll get a lot out of this game, and I'm sure you'll heavily promote this too. Assassin's Creed Odyssey
Yes.
Gold Edition is for $10 on Steam. When I saw that, I almost couldn't believe it. That's literally over 100 hours of this massive, like, third-person open world RPG that you can play for $10.
Yep. That's literally, again, like 100-hour game.
So, like dollar per time, it is so it's just so good. It's just so efficient. And I hear it's like I played a lot of it too. I played like maybe 15 hours of it. It's really fun. But you definitely get into a groove. You know, you get into like, you know, there's a bunch of checkpoints, a bunch of question marks everywhere. You kind of go through your missions, you kind of go through and expand the map. It's really pretty, very beautiful Assassin's Creed game. I just haven't taken the time to finish it. I'm sure the story is fine as well. So
It's honestly one of the better Assassin's Creed stories, and I love how the choices really affect things as well. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff they do with the story in that game. And there's also some great like laugh out loud moments in the story as well. Like it actually has some really good humor as well. Like it's a gosh darn good video game. Like Sean Capri and I like used to talk for hours and hours about how good that game was on Xbox Drive.
I remember. Yeah.
Both big fans of that game.
But like having the game, so the gold edition gives you the season pass as well.
Yep.
That adds just like more to it. It's like, how can you not like get it for $10?
And the DLC was really good too, because I played through all the DLC because one is kind of like almost like the post sequel to the game, and then the other is kind of like this side story that takes place in Atlantis, and both of them are really really well done as well.
Cool. So there you go. Those were two of my games. Chained Echoes for $17.49. And then you got Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition for $10 on Steam. On Steam, by the way, not Ubisoft Plus or anything like that. On Steam. So I just couldn't believe when I saw that. So there you go.
Price. It's a good price. All right. Well, my next one, is one that we wanted to start a movement for in the Discord. We failed to gain traction, Garrett, but we tried. My next game is a game that I know if Sean's still listening, he will nod in approval of this choice. Tales of Arise, $15
Nice.
on
$15,
PlayStation
wow.
on PlayStation Network. This is like a 70-hour game, so kind of like your Assassin's Creed example, Garrett. Tons and tons of value. Of course, the story is fantastic. The characters are incredible. It looks gorgeous still today. Like it's still a very pretty game. And it's just so fun to play. Tales of Arise is an incredible action RPG. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and be bold, Garrett, and say I think it's probably one of the best action RPGs that have come out this generation, I think.
Wow.
It's up there. It's up there with like traditional action RPGs as far as one of the best. So, and it's also one of the best Tales games ever. So, Tales of Arise, $15. Honestly, you can't go wrong with that one. I think that.
Where is that coming from? That $15?
That is on the PlayStation 30th anniversary sale.
Oh, okay.
And actually, the real price is $14.79, but I rounded it up to $15.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That is a pretty good one. I do have that one on Steam and on Xbox.
yeah.
Well, Xbox because of Game Pass, because it's on Game Pass. But
That's true.
I actually have it on PS5 as well.
Okay.
I actually originally got it on PS5, the physical edition. So,
Which is just crazy to think about. One, that you bought it on PlayStation 5, and two, that you bought it physically.
yeah, no, that was like I think it was like when it was like $20 like 2 years ago. So it was like, oh, that's a ridiculous price back then. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just got it physically, and I never. I think it's still sealed.
Nice.
Never
That's what
opened.
you want to see. It's just a sealed game sitting on your shelf.
And I played the first 5 minutes on my Steam Deck, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a game. Okay, let's go back to the game I'm playing. Actually,
One of these days, we're gonna get you with that game. It's gonna be. It's gonna
I would
be
like
on
it.
the list. It's on the list. of games you have to play at some point.
It's on the list. By the by, I still need to get into Mass Effect 1, Legendary Edition. It was on my mind. Like yesterday, I was like, am I gonna have time today? Like it's a Sunday, it's a free day, you know. It's just like I think I have time somewhere, and then I just play Metaphor, like the whole time. So
that seems like, I mean, to be fair, you probably should finish honestly, like Metaphor's taking about a lot of your time. You should probably just finish that first.
Yeah, probably.
We have lots of time. The main thing is you have to remember, it's going to be a while after this month ends before I can play any games that aren't the 3 games that the wheel picked. So
that's true.
That's going to be interesting. So it could be a while before we get to talk about that one. But
Got
yeah.
it.
So,
Okay.
Tales of Arise on my list there. I only have one more game left, Garrett. How many you got? I
Okay.
think you have 2, right?
I got 3 games left, so I'm gonna go
two
through
more.
2. I'm gonna go through 2 more here. This one I'm not surprised, but also I was just like, wow, okay, it's down to that price now. I found it on Best Buy, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope for $12.99, $13. That was a surprise. I actually don't remember. Did Mario plus Rabbids come out last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago now. Wow. I can't believe it's been 2 years now.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Like it's time flies, man.
Oh man, I remember going through that game. Super fun. Tactical RPG. In XCOM like, but with Rabbids and the Mario characters. I think what they did with this game compared to the first game, I think they just do a little bit more with like the classes and the different characters and their actions, and then it's a sphere movement instead of a square grid based movement, and then they have like open world hubs instead of I think it was just like a stage to stage process with the first game, but both of them are really, really good. I highly recommend someone that if you want a baby's first like over the shoulder tactical RPG, the Mario plus Rabbids series is the one to go for. And the Sparks of Hope one, I think it's very good. For $12.99, you're getting a lot content out of there, so highly recommend it. I also do recommend the first one as well, especially the Donkey Kong DLC. That was very, very fun. Actually, I have not played the DLC for the Sparks of Hope one just yet. I know it's been released, but
Yeah. I heard mixed things about that DLC.
okay.
But
Yeah, I haven't heard too much praise about that one. But anyways, Mario plus Rabbids
that's a good
Sparks
one.
of Hope.
That's
So,
a good one.
There you go.
Yeah. Look at that. Thanks,
Look at that.
And then you said you had a second one, right?
Yes. So the next game, this is. So I wanted to put this in there. I think it was more of a filler than anything because I just wanted to top
It's
it
a
off.
Falcom game, isn't it? I knew it. Ron was right. Hope there will be some Falcom games on your list, Garrett, is what Ron says.
Ron, I'm sorry. We're not involving Falcom because you will involve all the games, and that's well over $100. No. So this, I actually picked this out for $2.
Oh,
Ryan,
Jesus.
two.
A $2 role playing game.
$2. Darkest Dungeon on Steam.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So Darkest Dungeon, we've mentioned about this game before. It is a punishing turn-based role-playing game. It's like a dungeon crawling, roguelike-ish type of game where you have this party of different people that you recruit in this hub, and then you go through a dungeon, and it just punishes you so hard. Like, it'll give you anxiety, they'll give you hunger, they'll give you any confusion or anything, or darkness or whatever to your party. So it's extremely hard. So if you like very punishing turn-based role-playing games, I highly recommend you try out Darkest Dungeon because there is a system to it that's very nice. I do like there's some satisfaction of going through a dungeon in this game. Of course, the sequel is out. Darkest Dungeon 2 is out as well. But I just want to, go a little cheap here. It's like, hey, if you wanted to be introduced to this type of genre, this is the game to go for. Darkest Dungeon. So there you go.
That's a good one. That's a good choice because that game's really good, but you're right, it's really really hard. But for $2, you may as well try it. You may as well try it and see if you enjoy the punishing, difficult gameplay.
Yes,
you can have fun with it.
Yes,
nice.
Canadian studio, by the way.
Yes, exactly. We have a lot of good games made up here, Garrett. That Sea of Stars, bunch of cool stuff.
You got a Ubisoft studio up there. You're doing some stuff up there.
Drinkbox.
Mass Effect, I guess. You got
Mass
BioWare.
Effect also is from Canada. Yeah.
Good old
Dragon Age:
Canadian.
The Veilguard from Canada. But
the Veilguard.
Yes. All right, Garrett, are you ready for my final game?
I'm ready for a final game.
I've kind of went all out with this final game.
It sounds like it.
It's an expensive game.
Yeah.
But there's a reason I picked this game, Garrett. Because this game, one, has not gone on sale at all. And this is the first time it's ever been on sale. But the second part is, not only is it the first time it's been on sale, but it's over half off right now.
Wow.
Because this is normally a $70 game.
Wow.
The game in question, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, $39.99 on Amazon.com.
That's pretty good.
I think that game is worth every penny of that $39.99. Yes, it's over. It has almost too much content, and that's almost to the game's detriment. But you're definitely going to get your money's worth. It's also honestly one of the best games that came out this year.
That's what I hear.
And it is absolutely worth that price. It's also selling really well, so I don't expect it to go on sale very often. So that's why I wanted to put this on the list here with 7 Rebirth. I think it's important to highlight at least games like this that even though it's more expensive than your average Black Friday sale game, it's also the type of game that just doesn't go on sale that often. So
okay.
I wanted to throw that in there. So that's the physical copy, Amazon.com. I think the digital copy is like $5 more. So
okay.
You're not saving as much with the digital copy, but you also get like the digital deluxe edition as well, which comes with a bunch of other stuff. For I think it was like $46 digitally. So that's actually a pretty good deal too. But if you don't own Rebirth yet, if you didn't pick it up earlier this year and you're at all interested in that game, do yourself a favor and grab it now, because I don't think it's going to stay at that price for a while, and it could be a while, like probably till next summer before it goes on sale again. So.
I have a random question for you, Ryan.
Sure.
Do you expect that this game will have DLC like Remake did?
No, they've already come out and said there will be no DLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Okay, so this is the game.
This is just the game, just flat out. Because they basically said, came out and said, hey, we're not making DLC for this one because we want to just get the third part out as quickly as possible. Because they just want to get it over with at this point. So
makes sense.
Which I applaud them for that. Like, thank you for doing it that way instead of doing DLC.
Yeah, because Remake came out in 2019. It came out a while ago. So Rebirth was earlier this year.
Yeah, so 5 years between them.
Yeah. So I imagine whatever the third one is, 2026, 2027. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd say this. I think it'll definitely be before the PlayStation 6 generation comes out.
Yeah. Sounds good.
But yeah, I had to throw Rebirth on there. Because likewise, there's a lot of stuff like first-party Nintendo stuff or first-party PlayStation stuff that just doesn't, that hardly goes on sale. And this is just one of those games. So I think it's important to kind of highlight those.
Well, I can't wait to play it once I go through Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
Yeah,
it's going great.
It's going great, Garrett. And then of course you also have to play the mobile games like Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. Yeah.
Watch the movies.
No, don't watch Advent Children. That's the sequel to the story.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, it's actually a sequel to the original Final Fantasy VII, Garrett.
I would
so
be
you actually
interested
could
to
watch it.
that.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Garrett. Okay, sounds good.
Feel free to fill us in on your last game. I want to hear.
The last game here is also my most expensive game on the list. So I kind of want to get into this one. Of course, this game I can play it anytime because it's on Game Pass still. I wonder when it's gonna leave, but it's on sale everywhere. It's on Steam and PlayStation and Xbox. I'm interested in it because it's probably one of the best high quality Dark Souls like game that's not Dark Souls or Elden Ring, and that is Lies of P.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. I wanted to put in this because I do love the style of this game a lot. It reminds me of Bloodborne, but a little bit more. It has a little bit more like a whimsy fantasy to it because it's Pinocchio. Right. And what I've played of it with Xbox, I did enjoy it. It's just that that wasn't my primary game I was playing at the time. So I was like, okay, cool to see this. Now let me hop off and play some other stuff. But I do want to play this one at some point before it leaves Game Pass. Right now it's 40% off on Steam and other places as well at $35.99. But
it's got DLC coming out soon too.
Yes, it has DLC coming up early next year. It's also PS5 Pro enhanced.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, you got some extra ray tracing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I hear the ending of this game is really good. Like there's some sort of massive twist to this game that people just don't expect at all.
It was really all about Cinderella the whole time.
Yes, it was. It was actually Walt Disney's freezing head, in a cyborg.
So dark.
That he had a slash. So, anyways, it looks good. So I do want to play this at some point. Be that as it may, I Elden Ring. That's another game like, oh, I would like to play that. Everyone's saying that's the game of the year, game of all time. The DLC is apparently nominated for game of the year this year.
It is.
Apparently, it's just really, really good. But I hear Lies of P is the underdog of Dark Souls like games. It's like made by a Korean studio, and I hear it's just really, really good. I've never heard a bad thing about Lies of P. So.
It was on a lot of people's games of the year list last year.
Yes.
So I know a lot of people liked that game.
Yeah.
I'm just not really into Souls like, so it's not really my genre, but I understand why people like that game.
But there you go. Lies of P,
nice.
$35.99, 40% off. That's a pretty good deal, I think.
Oh, so we both basically had a game that was kind of in the price range of $39.99. It was just like I just didn't go for a lot of the cheaper games. That's why we kind of bounce things out a little bit.
Right.
Dude, good lists.
Good lists.
Before we move on, Garrett, do you have your final total of how much you spent?
Oh, how much I spent? Yes.
I have mine right here, Garrett. I spent $99.76.
Wow.
So go out there and buy whatever you can for 24 cents after you buy these games.
Mine was $98.45.
Damn, son.
So a little bit of a gap there. Now go spend that pretty penny on a random indie game or visual novel or whatever.
I will tell you, fork over $3 more and you'll get yourself a copy of Mass Effect Legendary Edition on PlayStation or Xbox for $5.99.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's
I wanted to kind of work that way into my list, but I couldn't find a good like $10 game because I wasn't looking on Steam. So
I had Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition for $3.99 in my list, but I just had to take it out because it's a little bit over budget. So
yeah,
that's a pretty good one. And the sequel is coming out February next year. Everyone's favorite month of game releases, apparently.
Yes.
February 2025.
Yeah, you got
Here we
that.
go.
You got Assassin's Creed. You got all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be great.
Avowed.
Yeah. But
got
anyways,
the Yakuza game.
Would you like to hear from the NPCs?
I would love to hear from the NPCs.
The non-podcast characters. We're gonna start with Savoy Prime, who says, "Hello, Cave." Since Garrett was going to the beginning of his Mass Effect voyage soon, I was wondering if he'll also be playing Andromeda. While it is a flawed game, I still thought it was a good game. Both of y'all keep preaching about the greatest RPGs. Have a great one. So Savoy already wants to know, after you finish Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, if you're going to play Mass Effect Andromeda, even though you've only committed to play the first one.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard no for now. I'm curious how I'm going to be after the first Mass Effect, though. It's like, am I gonna really love it, enjoy it, and going into the second one?
Yep.
Quite possibly. But I did not do that for the Dragon Age. I did play the original Dragon Age and did not go to the second one.
Yeah.
So.
And it's one of those things, Garrett, where like Mass Effect's a little bit different, I think, because when you get to the end of it and kind of see where the story's going, and you realize and you look at the fact that it is one continuous save when you play it all the way through that remembers your choices, like it actually just feels like one, like the Matt-ism, one full experience, because it feels like just one really long game that just happens to be split up into 3 parts. Like you might be more inclined to play Mass Effect 2 than you might have been with Dragon Age, which felt like a very detached experience.
Yeah. The original Dragon Age is like, this is the end of the game.
Yeah. Whereas Mass Effect is very much not like that. Like it has its own self-contained story, but it's very much like, here's all the things we're setting up for part 2, which you can play right away, where your character transfers over and everything.
Yeah. And you still recommend FemShep?
100%.
Okay.
Jennifer Hale, who plays FemShep, does an incredible job on the voice acting side. Mark Meir, who plays male shepherd, he's not bad, but he's just not as good as Jennifer Hale. She puts in an amazing performance. Like she's already like a really talented voice actor, but that is honestly probably one of her masterpieces, like one of the best games she's ever done.
Got it.
Voice acting wise. So that's why I think it's worth it to play as FemShep specifically. Unless you just don't like playing as female characters, which is okay, you know.
Yeah.
But next up, we got Solo, who says, "Yes, I picked up Mass Effect Legendary Edition."
Oh.
I'll see you over there, Savoy Prime. Of course, Ron had mentioned on our PlayStation Drive sales episode, because we did like a separate Black Friday episode for PlayStation Drive. Ron had recommended specifically Mass Effect Legendary Edition to people. Solo continues, "I finished Days Gone, so I can rightfully compare it now to The Last of Us. Another RPG I picked up is Lies of P." Oh, look
interesting. There you go.
He also picked up Sea of Stars. He picked up both physically. Looking forward to seeing the type of hype behind Lies of P or finishing Sea of Stars on Switch, while eager to see how the new version of the game plays. So not a question, just letting us know what games you picked up.
I hope you enjoy Sea of Stars. I think it's one. I like when everyone mentions that game, I'm reminding myself, oh yeah, I played that game a while ago, and I completely forgot it. Like it's just out of my mind. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a game that I played. Now it's out of my mind. Like it's one of those. So
it was one of those games that was multiple carpool gaming hosts' favorite game of last year.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised what my game of the year currently is this year, because I played a lot of older games as well. Not a lot of new games this year.
It's Lunar. I knew it. You're gonna pick Lunar. I'm so proud of you.
The Haagen-Dazs advertisement really got me.
I thought it was the joke about how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Tootsie Roll. Yeah. Of course.
Everyone already knows probably what my game of the year is going to be. So I mean, I'm basic like that. But Skycatcher Reflectin says, "I picked up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Rise of the Ronin were their pickups."
Cool.
Good pickups.
You know, Rise of the Ronin, I hear is it's a mixed bag. I hear it's just a very it's a good game that it feels like it's coming out of like late PS3, early PS4 era.
Yeah.
There's
nothing wrong with that. Like
nothing wrong with that.
I don't mind that. In fact, Rise of the Ronin was a game I started, had fun with, but ultimately it just fell to the wayside because there were other games coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty good game. Not amazing.
Is it an RPG? It's not, right?
It has RPG elements, but it's not. You're right. It's not like a full-blown RPG. But again, I only asked people what they got picked up for Black Friday. I never said that they had to be.
So is that Team Ninja, right?
It is Team Ninja. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because they did Neo.
Yeah, they
as
did.
well. Yeah.
And Ninja Gaiden, they did that.
And what's that? Wulong?
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
They did Dead or Alive as well.
Of course they did.
I love Dead or Alive. I'm not ashamed of that.
I'm not shaming you at all for that. Wait, is there how many Dead or Alives are there? Like
a bunch. There's six mainline Dead or Alive games and 4 volleyball games.
I just hear Dead or Alive 5 a lot. I don't know why. Like the 5th one is in my head, but that's what I hear.
That was a very random PS3 and Xbox 360 game, Garrett. Was Dead or Alive 5.
Yeah.
But, that one was also on Vita as well. That was the only Dead or Alive on Vita was Dead or Alive 5. But.
Sorry to go on a complete tangent here. There's so many Game Pass games I want to get to. The what's the one from? Is it Bandai? The Path of the Goddess.
Oh,
Shin Megami or something like that,
it's
right?
Kinitsugami. It's
Kinitsugami, yes.
And it's not Bandai, it's actually Capcom.
It's Capcom. Oh my gosh. See, thank you for correcting me here, Ryan. I hear that game is so good.
Yeah.
I
played it for a bit, and I'm just not really into tower defense games. So I just wasn't really super into it. But if you like tower defense games, I think it's a great game.
Okay. I want to get to it at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe this month. I actually do have like a break between Christmas and New Year's. So
yeah, that's one of those games that since it is Capcom, it'll probably end up leaving Game Pass next summer.
Yeah.
So you will want to play it before next summer, I think.
For sure.
Fulia chimes in and mentions, I picked up Mass Effect Legendary Edition for PlayStation for $10 Australian because Sean made me. I love that.
I wonder what's the equivalent of that. Hold on. 10 Australian dollars to USD. How much is that? $6.47. Oh, okay. So not bad.
Yeah, it's basically the same price. You're basically paying $1 more.
Yeah, just $1 more.
Yeah.
Cool. No, that's a very good price.
For 3 giant games.
For 3 giant games and all of its DLC and all the saves that carry over, and only being one of the most legendary sci-fi action RPGs of all time.
Yeah, it's up there. It's such a good game. All right. Croco Kyle says, I snagged Metaphor Refantastico on sale. And Garrett, I didn't on purpose say Refantastico. Croco Kyle wrote out Refantastico.
Good for him, man. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Croco Kyle continues, I'm currently wrapping up Mario and Luigi Brothership. So so here's my question to you both. Do you ever go straight from long RPG to another lengthy RPG after finishing, or you'd prefer to play a more bite-sized buffer game in between the two? Have a great weekend, fellas. Appreciate the time that you put in. Well, Croco Kyle, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Croco.
Of course, Croco Kyle put a heart in his little comment, so hearts in the chat for him. So that's an interesting question. First of all, interesting lineup of games there. Metaphor and Mario and Luigi Brothership. That's certainly a
both deeply political games.
Yes, for vastly different reasons. But as far as what I like to do, Croco Kyle's, I do not usually like to do 2 big RPGs back to back unless 2 games that I'm really, really looking forward to come out back to back. Then I kind of force myself to do it. But I'm the type of person that'll be like, all right, I'm gonna break it up with some NES games or something like that, like doing literally anything else to kind of break up the action a little bit. But what about you, Garrett? What's your approach to this?
Yeah, I think I'm more or less the same. I kind of like get into a long RPG, and then once I'm done, I feel like I don't know how you feel, Ryan, but once I'm done with a very lengthy RPG that I've been playing forever, I feel like it's just a weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling with video games because you go in there and you play it out of enjoyment, right? It's entertainment. It's stuff that we play, interact with. But once we're done with these types of games, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm finally done.
Yeah.
Look, this whole weight off my shoulder. It's like you're done with work or a project or something. But it's very interesting. But yeah, after I'm done with the lengthy RPG, I tend to either try out some Game Pass games and see if any of them stick with me, or I do a shorter game that I know I want to play either on Switch or Steam or whatever. So I do that, and then I go to another lengthy RPG. It depends on the lengthy RPG though. If it's let's say an action RPG, and then it's a very turn-based slower RPG, then maybe I'll go back to back because it's different enough. Yeah. Where it doesn't feel that strenuous. But man, when I'm done with Metaphor Refantasio, the next game is not going to be, I can't wait for another turn-based. I can't wait to play Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Yeah.
That's not it's not going to be in my head.
Well, luckily,
all.
Mass Effect
Yeah.
is right there waiting for you, Garrett. when
I
you're
know
done
it's
it.
waiting for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mario and Luigi Brothership, that's a game I want. That's a game I want to play.
Yep.
When
Same
will
here.
I have time? I don't know. We'll see.
It's up there with on my games I really want to play list, along with Dragon Quest 3 HD2D
Oh, I have that on Steam.
yeah.
Ready to go. Ready to play.
and then Romancing Saga 2. I really want to get to at some point too,
Oh yeah, that's
because
another
that
one.
demo was really good for that game,
It's a fun.
and the
one.
reviews are really good too. So like, I think it's gonna be
I like the demo for it of Romancing Saga 2, but I think I'll wait on that a while before I get
I
to
mean,
it.
at this point, again, I'm kind of like anything I don't play this month, I won't get to play basically until March. So I kind of have to like live with that reality because
Yeah.
I was looking up Resonance of Fate on how long to beat, and I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have put that on the wheel. That game is actually really long.
Resonance of Fate. That's an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, because that game, main story only 50 hours, completionist 112 hours. It's a long game. So,
Right, now I remember what this is. This is the gun role-playing game.
yes, from the makers of Star Ocean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Tri-Ace. Okay.
Tries. It just honestly, it looks so different from everything else out there. Like that's why I was really
It
interested. in
does
playing
look
it.
pretty unique. What are you playing it on? I'm curious.
PS5 because it has
okay.
a 4K version on that platform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
50 hours. All right. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I got that. I got Echoes of Wisdom and then Silent Hill 4 The Room. Those are the 3-wheel games.
Silent
So,
Hill 4?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The Room, which is a game, Garrett, that takes place entirely within one bedroom apartment and nowhere else.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun.
Thanks. Please be excited. All right. Final question of the night comes to us from HVAC Sparky, and it's more of a question from me. I'm going to read it out anyways. HVAC Sparky says, "Hello! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! I happened to pick up Unicorn Overlord on sale. I'm already 10 hours into the game, and I'm loving it so far. The depth of the combat system is very nice. Were you not actually going to go back to this game at some point, Ryan Turford?" He asks. HVAC Sparky, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to go back to Unicorn Overlord because it's a tricky thing. And Garrett, I know you've been in this situation before, so
I've
I
been
know
in
that
this
it's not an easy thing to do where you know how you get to like pretty close to the end of the game and that's when you fall off a game?
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to go back to that game after.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when I go back to this game because honestly, I feel like if I go back to Unicorn Overlord, I've totally forgotten how to play it at this point, and I kind of probably have to start over.
But how close are you?
I was like 3 missions away from the end of the game.
You're so close, man. I don't know.
But again, it's just one of those things where I don't remember how to play it. I haven't played it in a while. So
Is it not easy to get into once you're like late in the game, you think?
it definitely requires a level of strategy that would be tough to kind of just pick up again.
Got it.
Yeah, especially because earlier in the game you can kind of do like kind of like cheese strategies a little bit. You're not doing anything too complicated, but towards the end of the game you really have to like think about what you're doing in that game. I mean, I could throw it on maybe the easiest difficulty and kind of plow through it, but even then I'm like, it's just been so long. I would kind of want to start it over again anyways if I wanted to play it again.
Okay.
But this
Sounds
is how I
good.
feel about it.
No, I understand. No, I've definitely been there with certain games, getting close to the end and then dropping out. I'm trying to think of ones of recent. Actually, not recently, not lately, but I have done it, and I get it, Ryan. It's just like I feel like you're just like you feel like you're done with the game because you're like, oh, I'm very close to the finish line.
Yeah.
I kind of understand this game.
Well, not only that too, the story in that game is not great. So I mean, there
so.
isn't really a motivation to finish the game because of the story or something like that. So that is a big part of it too, where it's just like I fell off because the story is just kind of dull. But again, the combat was so fun to play that was kind of what was propelling me forward for a while. But you're right, it's probably one of those things where I just kind of saw what all I wanted to see, and maybe I go back to it at some point. But if I do, it is probably just starting at the beginning and just playing through the full game again. But like we're gonna talk about this probably when we do our Game of the Year episode. But like this year has been a really interesting year for me because last year at this time, Garrett, I had finished 59 games. And
that's a lot.
And at this point this year, at the same point this year, I finished 28 games. So
still more than me. So
true, but like
a lot less though.
But when I think about it though, like when I think about this year, a lot of it is like I've picked up a lot of games and played through a bunch of the games and gotten far in games like Unicorn Overlord, but just stopped playing at a certain point and just fell off for X, Y, or Z reasons. And I've just noticed that a lot this year with a lot of games I've played. Like it's a disturbing trend for me, Garrett. I'm not used to being like this. Because most years I'm mostly usually like Kevin Ainsworth posting like big numbers of big games that I've beaten a year.
I wonder how many games he went through this year. Can we have a vote for it? Like I want the Carpool Gaming to just all come together maybe during the Game of the Year and just like how many games has Kevin Ainsworth played and finished as well?
I think he's been giving us a running tally the whole year. He's definitely over 60 at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas, and likewise, this is the first year I've been keeping track of it on Twitter. So I actually have like an actual record that I can just go back and reference and be like, oh yeah, I did finish Felix the Cat on Game Boy this year. You know, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. I got the platinum on Plumbers Don't Wear Ties this year. Again.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. But I mean, I've played over 100 games this year, Garrett, but I have only finished like 28 of them. So it's just weird. It's just weird.
Got it.
But anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of the RPG Cave. But before we go, we got to say thank you to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, starting with our ultimate bruisers. I'll have to hold this up correctly. Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on the Xbox Drive and the PlayStation Drive. His new single, Forgotten, is available right now over on his Linktree, linktr.ee/pme.jib. And Cwagmire, who humbly reminds you that the best babes are in fact Xenobabes. And TechMike, who says, whether you're a Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. Links to all of our ultimate producers can always be found in the description of our podcast, so make sure to support them because they're awesome and they support us. Our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, Solo, the Captain, and Tim Paullin, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Hoppel, Jan32, Ligerwoods 330, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Peje, Shade Erickson, TheDonRob, and the Jiggy Collector. Huge thank you once again to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgame. If you want to hop in the car with us, head over there, choose the tier that's right for you. And now, Garrett Plugs go.
This is going to be the first time I'm saying this.
Uh-oh.
I'm dropping out of Twitter. I'm done.
What?
I am out of Elon Musk's clutches. You know, I'm not with the Doge. I'm not with the, with the party over there. So I'm out. I'm done. I'm not.
You and Sean Capri. Sean also mentioned this week. He's also off Twitter.
Yeah. I uninstalled Twitter off my phone. Like I'm not active in it anymore. You can follow me at Blue Sky, at Blind Explosion. I think a lot of people have transferred over, so I think I think we've made the hump. I think we've made the clear, at least with the gaming community. But I'm looking at the trends here, man. Journalists from all subjects and areas, it's pretty widespread that people are getting out of the X app and getting into Blue Sky or Threads or whatever other social media platform. So yeah, you can follow me on Blue Sky at Blind Explosion. Follow me on there. And nice. Also, I read all your messages on Discord and RPG Cave. I know you're playing all your video games. I saw a metaphor read Fantastico and Fantastico.
It's Fantastico, I swear.
I saw I think it's Ryu playing Weiss 10. East 10 Nordics. I hear that's a great game too. Something that we just completely didn't mention and we're not going to play, but a lot of people like that one.
People apparently like that game.
It's a JRPG for sure. When I was watching a game, I was like, oof, that is an action JRPG if I ever found one.
That's certainly a Falcom game is what I thought about when I looked at it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty much it. So
Cool.
Back to you, Ryan.
As for me, you can always follow me on Twitter, aka
Twitter.
X, at Ryan Turford. I think I'm probably the only one left at this point.
Apparently.
I haven't made a Blue Sky account because honestly, I'm just thinking about the fact that I'm just like, well, maybe I don't have a Twitter or a Blue Sky. Maybe I'm just on the Discord.
I think that's all, like a lot of people's dilemma is like, it's either I'm going to be on Twitter or I'm out. And that makes...
Because I'm like, do I really want to start over on another platform? I barely post on social media as it is anyways. So
that's true. But I think I will say with Blue Sky, it feels like just an earlier version of Twitter.
Right.
So it just feels like, oh yeah, here's our friends and stuff, and less random bots posting random stuff.
But I miss those random bots. They post so many terrible messages.
There's so many bad messages. So many bot followers too.
Yep.
It's starting to creep up on Blue Sky, but it's not nearly as egregious.
It'll get there at some point.
It'll get there for sure. No.
And then you'll have to find a new platform to escape the bots.
But I understand, right? Like if once you're out of Twitter, you're done with social platforms. I completely
I'm just weighing my options at this point because again, we got the Discord. We got such a great Discord that I would rather honestly just hang out in the Discord than probably post on Twitter.
Yeah.
Also, you can find us on Blue Sky and Twitter at Carpool Gaming. Right here, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live, and podcast services around the globe. So for Garrett Bland, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been the 163rd level of the RPG Cave, and we're out.
Bye-bye.